Okay, so just I'm making a recap because the thing is that in the last session we talked about the inheritance. Now, after inheritance, we have also talked about the overriding. So, what is overriding? Anybody can tell me what is overriding? Last time I told you. No.
I will tell, sir.
Yeah, tell me, please.
Overriding in the sense the process of inheriting method from superclass and changing the implementation is subclass is called as method overriding.
Exactly, clapping for you. Exactly that. Everybody should have to tell the same definition in the same way to the interviewer, and that is the best one. That whenever you have a function in the parent class and you want to override, or you have to override. In both the cases, it is called overriding. So today again I'm giving you the example with the simple one. So this is the, you can say, let me take the example of any other thing. Let me take a fresh class so that you can understand from the beginning. Okay, so let me take the example of, you can say, class. Or I'm taking the example of, I've already created a class car. Let me check. Car is there. Okay, car is already there. Okay, so take the example. I'm taking the example of first one from the, you can say, from the general class. So let me remove this one. I'm not taking the example of. To take the first example, otherwise disturb this one. Okay, so I'm just giving the name of my class A. Itself, I'm giving the name of class A. Is it okay? This class A means the name of my class A. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is class A. I'm just giving the name of, so don't confuse. I have a class A. Now, suppose this class A, it can be any class according to our structure, like it can be student class, it can be employee class. So that's why I've taken a general example of a class A. So it is any class. Suppose this class you can say contains any function like pub, lic, public, void, and there is a function. Take the example, suppose display. Okay. So take the example display. So here, suppose take the it is the you can say function display, and for the coding part, I'm just writing a SOP. You can consider it. This SOP is actually the implementation. So you can say class A display. So in this class, what is happening? It contains a method. Class A contains a method display. Getting my point? And if anybody want to this method, they can simply use it. How? They can simply create the object of this class. So I will take the example of, I will create a main class here. You can say class, and I will give the name main class. So from this class, if anybody want to call this function, simply he can call it. How? He will just create the object of a class. This is the only requirement. Yes or no? अगर आप किसी क्लास का किसी फंक्शन को कॉल करना चाहते हो, प्रॉपर्टी को, तो आपको क्या करना होता है? उसका ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना, राइट? सो आई क्रिएटेड द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ दिस क्लास, न्यू क्लास. So now after that, we can, with the help of this object, or you can say reference, I can call the functions of that class dot, and you can see. So here you will see it will call the display method, and you can see with the help of this that it is calling the method from class A. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now again, I'm going to create a different class. Suppose I'm taking the example of class B. This is another class. And this time I want to make a relationship between the class A and B. So I will do one thing, class B extends class A. Is it okay? So what do you mean? What do you mean by this relationship? In this meaning, I'm trying to tell that class B is a child and class A is a parent. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So whenever in this class, if you want to access this function display, by default it will be available. Ye function yahan pe, this function will be by default available here. If you want to check, you can go to the, again you can say main class and then call the object of class B. You can see here class B, and I will create class B and equal to new class B. So with the help of class B object also, we can call the display method. If you want to see it, let me show you. Dot display. Okay, so for the timing, let me comment the above one and let me show you that is running fine or not. Okay, so you can see, okay, so you can see I'm creating the object of a class B. When I'm calling class B dot display, it is actually calling the function from class A. Is it okay? Because this function is inherited in class B due to this relationship. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes.
Clear?
Sir, can you please repeat once again? Sir?
Yeah, again I'm saying that, yeah, that is very, very important. So you can ask me multiple times. I'm saying that class A contains a method display. So whenever anybody want to call this method, when there was no other class in my project, I have only one class, class A, and I have a main class. So this class contains a method display. So whenever anybody want to call this method, he will create the object of a class A, like something this one, and he can call. Is it okay? That is fine.
Yes, sir.
Now there is another class, class B. Now this class want to, you can say also this class want to be a make a relationship with the class A of parent and child. So in this class, which is parent, class A is a parent and class B is a child. So when I will make this relationship, what will happen? This function, which is by default available in the class A, which is the parent for class B, that will be available in the class B also in the invisible format. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So it is, I'm showing you that I'm just trying to paste it here so that I can show you, but this function is by default available in the class B due to concept of inheritance. So that's why when I will create the object of class B, we can access display method. Is it okay? Yes or no? Now this is clear. Now this is clear. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
नहीं मुझे आपके I'm not able to I'm not able to see the confidence. नहीं आपको समझ आ रहा, आप बताओ, फिर से बताओ, कोई बात नहीं. देखो.
Sir, actually, I have a doubt. Why display only class A in the output? Why it's not there?
Because whenever it is calling the function display, this is calling the function from class A, and in this function I've written class A. Getting my point? इसके SOP में I have written the class A as a SOP statement. That's why it is calling. Getting my point?
In class, you did not create any SOP statement, right?
No, we don't create. So you can simply understand that whenever I am trying to call with the help of class B, it is going to the class A. That's why it is printing here. Why I've written this class A, so that you can understand it is calling the function from the class A. You are calling with the help of class B object, but it is calling the function from class A because it is inherited in class B. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Now you will see, in this case, you will see I'm creating the object of class B and it is calling the display method from class A because by default, the method of parent is available in the class B child. So, but if we are not satisfied with the implementation means I want to say that in the child class, this method is there. This method is available, but I'm not satisfied with the implementation means the coding part, the body part. अगर मैं इसकी boarding part से satisfy नहीं हूँ, I want to change the implementation. So I can change the implementation in the class B. How? I have to rewrite this function here and can modify the definition. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, you will see it was by default in invisible format, it was available, but I have write it intensely, write it again. You can say explicitly, I have written it here and have changed the definition. So for you showing that I have changed the definition, I've just taking the example that I've written class B. मैंने यहाँ पे class B लिखा है. Indirectly, I don't need to write it. Otherwise, by default, what is available here? Override. We don't need to write here. हमको इसको लिखने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. But actually, indirectly, how it is treated as, if any function which is available in the parent class, and if you will try to write same function in the child class, it will be treated as overridden. Getting my point?
Yes.
Now you will see same line of code. Now this time when I will try to call the function class B dot display, if I will run this code, you will see instead of calling this function, it will call function from the own class. This time it is displaying class B display. So why it is calling? Because whenever you try to override a function in the child class, so first of all, it gives the preference to the its own method, and it is called override. Okay. In simple word, you can say whenever you have a method in a child parent class and same method you define in the child class, then in the child class, the method is known as overriding. Getting my point? Okay, let me take the another example. Tell me, who is not getting? Tell me. Don't think about others. बिल्कुल किसी और के बारे में मत सोचो. आप मुझे बताओ. I'm taking the example of. Let me take the example of salary. Calculate salary. Okay, I'm taking a good live example, and in this salary, suppose take the example, I'm taking two parameters. One is int basic, okay, and the second I'm taking the example of, you can say take the example of, you can say HR. Suppose take the example, or don't take the example of HRA. Okay, take the example of HRA, and third is only take example. Okay, now I'm trying to create a function SALAR. Okay, who's going to tell me with me? Just try to explain with me, okay, so that I can understand you are getting or not. So Ranjita, you will tell me. Ranjita, you are getting my point?
Sorry, sir, I am not getting.
Okay, I'm saying that I'm creating a function in front of you. Just think, don't think about anything. Okay, we have a class A and which contains a function calculate salary. Okay, so here we are going to calculate int gross salary. We have to calculate gross salary, GROSS, gross salary. Is it okay? So in the gross salary, I'm using a logic, whatever basic will be passed, basic plus HRA plus I will write, you can say there is some extra allowance, you can say that is 10%, 10 multiply of, you can say, or let me write directly, 10 divided by 100, and let me write in a bracket, and then we'll write here basic, BASIC. HRA, and write this one. Or it's giving problem. This is 10% is okay. Let me write it. Okay, 10 plus basic is okay. Basic multiply by 10. Okay, so here you can understand what is the my calculation part, how gross calorie is calculated, basic
Yes.
plus HRA and 10% of the basic. That will be the gross salary. Is it okay?
Yes.
So now I'm printing the gross salary in the class A. So in class A, the gross salary will be printed gross salary, and it will be printed something like that. Okay, now you'll see. If I call this function creating the object of class B. Okay, so now this function exists in the class B? No. This function exists in the class B?
No.
No. So when I will call the function using the class B object, it will call the function from class A. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I'm calling the function here gross salary. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हमने एक पेरेंट क्लास के अंदर फंक्शन बनाया और उसके बाद हम क्या कर रहे हैं, उसके अंदर हमने कहा बनाया, we have created class extended here. Okay, calculate self, and here I'm passing the, suppose take the example, I'm passing 5,000 and HRA I'm passing suppose 1,000. Okay, so now you will run. So gross salary is 6,500. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so now the thing is that this function I'm calling from class B object. So actually same function is available. This function is inherited in class B. That's why it is calling it here. Now due to some reason, just think about that. in the class B, this function is available, but in class B is not satisfied with the calculation. The class B want to make the calculation in different way. You can say using some different business logic. So what she can do, class B can do one thing, in own class, it will define the function again, and he can change or she can change the calculation like 20%. Getting my point? So now what will happen? If I will call gross salary function with the help of class B, this time it will call the function from class B, and here we have modify the calculation of the gross salary. Getting my point? Yes or no? तो हमने क्या किया कि जब भी आप अपने एक क्लास में कोई फंक्शन इंप्लीमेंट होता है, आप देखो here this time it's calculate 7. तो जब भी आपके किसी एक क्लास में एक फंक्शन अवेलेबल होता है, if function is available in your one class and in the child class you want to change the definition, you want to change the body part of the function, in that case you have to rewrite this function in the class, and then you can modify the body part of, or you can say calculation of the function, and this is called override. Getting my point? थोड़ा और clear हुआ?
Yes. But सर एक्चुअली हमने जब पढ़ा था उस दिन ओवरराइड का बेसिक रूल तो यही था ना कि we need to define the body of a function करके.
That's why I'm saying that two things I've told you. One thing हमने बोला था, in case of abstract class and interface, you have to do it. Are you getting my point? वहां पे काम ही नहीं चल सकता था. मैंने बोला इसीलिए in the starting of today's session I told you that overriding is a concept where two things are, you must or you want. अगर आपको must मतलब क्या होता है कि आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. Take the example, I will, okay, देखो अगर मैं आपको let me take the good thing that you are asking. So now this time I'm taking the example of suppose take the example of abstract class. ठीक है? So I will say class C. This is a class C. And suppose this abstract, how I can make it abstract? मैंने इसके अंदर क्या कर दिया? Let me make ABSTRACT abstract class, and I'm writing and I'm defining this function. So abstract class में what we have a choice? In the abstract class, we can define the function. We can only declare the function and we can define the function. It means we can make the function abstract and non-abstract. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो अगर मैंने इसको, if I try to make it abstract, तो abstract मतलब I will only define the body. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if I will do one thing, in that case, in the child class, I have to override. It is mandatory. Getting my point? मुझे करना ही पड़ेगा. No choice. Getting my point? I will take the example here also. Let me take the example of C. Class D. CLA class D. Now here I will do one thing. Class D extends C. Is it okay?
Yes.
तो देखो, I am trying to extend class C. अब class C को जब extend कर रहा हूँ, why it is giving the problem? It is saying that the type class D must implement the inherit abstract
Class
method.
is abstract class.
हाँ जी. अब आपको, because the thing is that you want to make the class C as a parent, आप inherit करना चाहते हो, and class C contains the abstract method, तो आपको class B में must करना ही पड़ेगा. Getting my point?
Yes. Yes.
So it is mandatory. Now you will see, if I will not choose this option, add unimplemented method, हमारा problem solve ही नहीं होगा. We can't proceed. Getting my point?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes. Yes.
तीनों को clear है?
Yes.
Okay. Up now you will see, you told me that it is mandatory. Now think about that. If in class C, let me take the example, same example. Let me first of all remove it from here. Now I'll do one thing. In class C, I'm not making this class abstract. So I can define this body of the function. Yes or no?
Yes.
देखो मैं कर सकता हूँ जब मैं abstract नहीं बना रहा हूँ. So अगर मैं define कर सकता हूँ, so in that case, what is the thing? Let me write this some body code. I can write anything, but I'm writing a meaningful calculation. Now tell me, this time class C contains this one. I have written in class D extends C. It is giving any error? No.
No.
Because in class D by default it extend, it inherit the function from class C. और class C में अगर by default जो function बना है वो already क्या है? Defined है, non-abstract है. So we don't need to override. Get in my point? It is our choice. फिर भी अगर आपको लगता है your calculation is not good, I have given an example कि आपको जब when this function inherited in class D, what will be the calculation of calculate salary? बेसिक HRA and 10% of the basic.
Yes.
आपको लगा कि नहीं नहीं ये फंक्शन तो मेरे को मिल रहा है, I'm okay, but I don't like the calculation. तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, सेम फंक्शन you have to write in this own class. आपको चाइल्ड क्लास में ओवरराइड हो रहा है, लेकिन आपको खुद बनाना पड़ेगा in, and then you can modify the calculation. And this is called override. अगर आपको यहाँ पे calculation you don't want to change it, so you don't need to override. Override in case of abstract class mandatory, but in case of non-abstract class it is not mandatory. Clear है? अब clear हुआ थोड़ा सा?
Yes, yes, now it's clear.
ठीक है, so this is clear. So now everybody, Payal, Rabia, Ranjita, Shruti.
Yes, sir.
सर
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
सर अभी सर आज लेट ज्वाइन किया मैंने सर, सिर्फ एक 2 मिनट में बता दीजिए क्या बता रहे थे आप.
So I've just only tell this thing that whenever you, simple, you can say whatever we have learned in the last session, that whenever you have a function in a parent class, and you want to override the logic part, means if you want to override the body calculation, you can override in the child class. Okay, in that case what you have to do, you have to redefine again explicitly. You have to write this function in your class, and then whatever changes you want to make in your function, you can make it. So in this case, whenever you create the object of a child class, first of it will calculate the function from child. सबसे पहले child के पास जाता है, तो child में override किया है तो उसको call करता है. If it is not available, then it will go to the parent. So this thing is called overriding. Getting my point? So now, what is the mandatory rule of the override? Override, in case of override, the signature of the function should be same. Now, what is the signature of the function? Except this body part, everything is considered as a signature, or you can say declaration part. Why we don't say declaration? Because declaration का मतलब मैं केवल semicolon लगा दूं. So this part is also known as signature. तो क्या होना चाहिए? Signature क्या होना चाहिए? That should be same. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
अब देखो यहाँ पे signature, what do you mean by signature? The name of the function, that is obvious, same. Number of parameters should be same. Okay, and number of parameters should be same, and their type should be same. अगर मैंने इसका number of parameters same नहीं किया, तो it will not call the override. You want to take the example? It contains the calculate salary. Now, if I will go to the class B, so instead of defining the same signature, I have added one more parameter. Suppose take the example int, you can say some allowance. So now in this case, we will not say that calculate salary function is overridden. This function is different, and this in the parent, this function is different. Getting my point? So जब किसी function को override, whenever you want to override any function in the child class, your signature should be same. Now we'll see why I'm saying that it is not overridden. Now again try to create the object of the class B and see how many functions you are able to see. कितने फंक्शन दिख रहे हैं आपको? 2 फंक्शन की 3? 2 फंक्शन दिख रहे हैं कैलकुलेट के?
Yes.
It means these 2 functions are totally different. One is coming class A, you can see class A, and another is coming from class B. तो जब भी override होता है, in case of overridden, your signature should be different. अगर signature different नहीं हुआ, तो आपका वो override concept, it is not known as a override concept. यहाँ पे simple क्या हुआ? Class A, class calculate salary. This function is you can say inherited from class A to class B, and this is the own function, class calculate salary with the allowance parameter. This is the you can say own function of class B. Getting my point? तो आपके override में क्या होना चाहिए? पूरा का पूरा signature same होना चाहिए. Getting my point?
Yes.
किसी को कोई डाउट हो अभी बता सकता? I know it is a little bit confused. That's why I'm giving you time. So don't worry. I will tell you so many times. हाँ जी बताइए. Anybody or good to go? अरे yes, no, very good to बोलो.
Yes, yes.
ठीक है, चलिए. So ये concept जो है, that is called overridden, and overridden, in case of overridden, in the parent class, whatever is the signature of the function, that should be same. Only the body can be different. केवल implementation different होता है. Now the second concept is called overloading, and that is very, very easy. That is very easy. I will take the example. Let me take the example of some class. Let me take the example of my own class. PRATEE. Now, what is overloading? I will try to create a function in this class. I'm trying to create a add function. मैं add function बनाना चाह रहा हूँ. Public void add. So in this add function, I want to pass two parameters, int a comma int b. And I'm writing some calculation here. Int c equal to a plus b. Now you will see. I want to create another function in the same class with the same name. I'm trying to do it. Are you getting any error? What is the error? क्या error आ रही है?
Duplicate method add.
Yes, and it is very obvious. आप मुझे बताओ, if I will try to create two functions with the same name, everything is same. At the time of calling, it will create an ambiguity. Yes or no? आपके घर में एक ही नाम से दो बच्चे हों, सब कुछ सेम हो उनका, हाइट, कलर, एज सब कुछ सेम है, so it will create a problem for you. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in this case, you will say, so what it is saying that it is giving you option that rename method add. Rename method add. ये आपको एक ऑप्शन दे रहा, मेथड को रीनेम कर दो. तो आप अगर आप चाहते, if you don't want to change the name of the method but still you want to keep two functions with the same name, so there are conditions. You can do it, but the condition is that there are few conditions. You can make the difference in functions in the way of number of parameters. आप कैसे रख सकते हो क्लास में डिफरेंट मेथड कि नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर्स में क्या करो, डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर दो. फॉर एग्जांपल, it contains two parameters. You can make the another function with the same name, but parameters can be less than it or more than it. Getting my point? तो मैंने क्या किया? I have added one more parameter. Now it is giving any error?
No.
So now the first condition, this is called overloading. Overloading, the concept of overloading means overload, means in a same class you can create multiple functions with the same name. Multiple functions you can create with the same name, but there should be a difference in either of the one ways. Either one ways, wow, number of parameters. You can make a difference in number of parameters. Second is that type of parameters. Getting my point? अब type of parameters को कैसे मैं difference करता हूँ, देखो. If I will try to create a function with the same name and same parameter, it is creating the problem. But here you will see number of parameters here are two, but I'm changing the type. One is int and another is float. Getting my point? It is giving error.
No.
So now it means the second condition of overloading is that we can keep another function in the same class with the same name. Number of parameters also same, but the type of parameter should be different. यहाँ पे we have two parameters, one is int and another is int, but here we are using one is int and another is float. Getting my point? So कैसे difference create कर सकते हैं? In terms of number of parameter, second is type of parameters, and third is sequence of parameters. Getting my point? सीक्वेंस ऑफ पैरामीटर कैसे, देखो यहाँ पे मेरे पास दो पैरामीटर हैं, ठीक है. देखो सेम फंक्शन मैं बनाऊंगा, आई विल ट्राई टू क्रिएट द सेम फंक्शन, बट इसमें क्या करूंगा, सीक्वेंस चेंज कर दूंगा. हियर द फर्स्ट इज इंट, सेकंड इज फ्लोट. हियर आई विल मेड फर्स्ट वन फ्लोट. पहला वाला पैरामीटर में क्या बना दूंगा, फ्लोट, और दूसरे को इंट. सो यू कैन सी यहाँ पे देखो फंक्शन का नाम, फंक्शन नेम इज सेम, नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर इज आल्सो सेम, 2. Okay, type of parameter भी same है, one is int, one is float, one is int, one is float. Only the difference is sequence. First one is int, then float, and then int. Is it okay?
Yes.
And this is known as overloading. In case of overloading, what is the definition of overloading? That in case of overloading, we can keep multiple functions in the same class, but the condition is that you have to make a difference in number of parameters or type of parameters or sequence of parameters. अगर आप इनमें तीनों में से कोई भी एक डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर देते हैं, so you can keep it, and it is called overloading. And overloading is also known as compile time polymorphism. Overloading को हम क्या बोलते हैं, compile time polymorphism. अब बात क्या आती है, why we call it polymorphism?
सर वो आपने सीक्वेंस की बात की है, तो सीक्वेंस मतलब जैसे आपने int को फ्लोट और फ्लोट को int बना दिया, इसे आप सीक्वेंस बोल रहे हैं क्या?
हाँ, this is sequence
पर
because
इंट
हाँ जी बोलिए।
बी पहले लिखा अगर और इंट ए पहले लिखा तो वो सेम ही होगा ना।
come again।
मतलब अगर इंट बी है
हाँ,
उसकी जगह मैंने इंट बी और इंट ए लिखा
नहीं होगा, because the thing is that this is simply the name,
आएगा ना।
because the thing is that this is considered a name of the variable. ये वेरिएबल का नाम है, it can be anything, only the parameter is known as with the help of parameter data type. आपका पहला पैरामीटर जो int है, दूसरा फ्लोट है, इसका नाम तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, इट इज नॉट मैंडेटरी। यहाँ पे देखो ए बी है, इट डजंट मीन यहाँ पे आप ए बी लिखो, यहाँ पे ई एफ भी लिख सकते थे आप, ई एंड एफ, whatever you are taking the name of the, that is very good question, you can whatever variable name you are taking you will use in the calculation also. आपका सिंपल क्या देखा जाता है कि इसमें जो पहला पैरामीटर है, the type of parameter is int and here the second parameter is float, in the second function is first is float and second is, getting my point? ये तो आपके वेरिएबल होते हैं, इनका
होगी है ना मेथड की, तो
सॉरी
डुप्लीकेसी होती है ना मेथड की। जैसे आपने बोला था कि पहला जो आपने एग्जांपल दिया था कि दोनों में अगर सेम लिखेंगे तो डुप्लीकेट मेथड का एरर आएगा।
बिल्कुल।
तो अगर हम मतलब जो पैरामीटर उनका नाम डिफरेंट है, जैसे पैरामीटर ए बी सी, पहले में इंट ए इंट, दूसरे में मेथड में ऐड फंक्शन के साथ इंट सी और इंट डी, तो भी डुप्लीकेट का एरर आता है क्या?
नहीं, पैरामीटर के नाम से कोई मतलब होता, आई टोल्ड यू दिस इज जस्ट लाइक ए वेरिएबल, तो वेरिएबल से मतलब नहीं होता, जो चीज आपका
वेरिएबल के नाम, हाँ सॉरी
वेरिएबल, इट डजंट मैटर, वेरिएबल नेम डजंट मैटर इन केस ऑफ ओवरलोडिंग, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द पैरामीटर। ये पैरामीटर ये होता है, इसको स्टोर करने के लिए यू हैव टेकन अ वेरिएबल, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? दिस इज जस्ट लाइक ए वेरिएबल, इट इज टोटली डिपेंड ऑन द टाइप। हम यही तो बोलेंगे कि जो पहला पैरामीटर है दैट इज इंटीजर टाइप, इट डजंट मैटर व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द वेरिएबल, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? Is it okay?
Sir, if we represent different, then also it will be duplicate method, right?
हाँ, अगर मैंने बोला ना आपसे, आप यहाँ पे
ये समझ नहीं आ रहा, जैसे ए मेरे पास चार वेरिएबल है ए बी सी डी, ओके, और ऐड फंक्शन मैंने दो बार लिख दिया, एक में लिख दिया इंट, मतलब हार्ड कोडेड कर लिया इंट ए इंट बी, दूसरे में लिखा इंट बी इंट सॉरी इंट सी इंट डी, तो ये पॉसिबल है क्या?
बिल्कुल पॉसिबल है, बिकॉज द थिंग इज आई टोल्ड यू, ये जो आपके वेरिएबल होते हैं, वेरिएबल द नेम ऑफ द वेरिएबल इज द कोडिंग पार्ट एंड दैट इज ट्रीटेड एज ए लोकल और ग्लोबल। अगर आपने देखो सी यहाँ पे दिया है, ये सी और ये सी, ये दोनों अलग है, इट इज अ लोकल वेरिएबल ऑफ दिस फंक्शन एंड दिस सी इज अ लोकल वेरिएबल ऑफ दिस फंक्शन, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? तो इससे आपस का कोई मतलब नहीं लेना देना। नाउ द सेम नहीं,
ठीक है,
डुप्लीकेसी नहीं, ओनली द डुप्लीकेसी इज डिफाइंड, मैंने बताया ना, देखो आपको क्या लिखा है, नेम ऑफ द फंक्शन, ठीक है, नेम ऑफ द फंक्शन दैट इज एंड द नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर्स, मैंने बोला नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर, कहीं पे भी आई हैव नॉट डिफाइंड द नेम ऑफ पैरामीटर, मैंने यूज नहीं किया वर्ड, नंबर ऑफ पैरामीटर्स, दिस इज कॉल्ड हाउ मेनी पैरामीटर, टाइप ऑफ पैरामीटर मतलब पैरामीटर का टाइप क्या, वन इज इंट एंड वन इज फ्लोट, सीक्वेंस ऑफ पैरामीटर, anywhere I have not taken the name parameter name because parameter name can be anything and it do not impact the overloading, getting my point? ठीक है, तो अगर आप देखो, अगर मैं आपको ये कहूँ ना, ये देखो आपको, अगर ये देखो आपने अगर ध्यान से दिया हो, इफ यू हैव सीन प्रॉपर्ली, आई एम राइटिंग ए एंड हियर आई एम राइटिंग बी, ठीक है। अब मुझे आप बताओ, पहले फंक्शन में जो व्हाट इज द टाइप ऑफ पैरामीटर ए का पैरामीटर टाइप क्या है, इंट, यस और नो? And in this function, what is the parameter? What is the type of parameter A? Float. तो ये दोनों कैसे कर रहा है, ए का यहाँ पे इंट है और यहाँ पे फ्लोट है, कैसे? बिकॉज ये इसका लोकल वेरिएबल्स है, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? हाजी राबिया, यस और नो?
यस सर, यस।
ठीक है, सो डोंट कंसीडर द पैरामीटर नेम, नेम को कंसीडर मत करो, इसका नाम तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, यू कैन टेक द नेम राबिया आल्सो, आप पैरामीटर का नाम राबिया ले लो, राबिया लोगे तो आपकी कैलकुलेशन में अंदर कहाँ यूज होगा, राबिया, but it will be considered that first parameter is integer type, getting my point? What is the variable name you are taking, that is your choice and you are free to take any, ठीक है? Okay, so this, okay, now this is also known as compile time polymorphism. Why it is called compile time polymorphism? Because the thing is that when you try to call the functions of this class, let me try to call, मैं प्रदीप क्लास के फंक्शन को कॉल करता हूं, तो जब आप कॉल करोगे, यू आर राइटिंग द कोड टू कॉल द फंक्शन फॉर द प्रदीप क्लास, यू विल सी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग, आपको सारे फंक्शन दिखाई देंगे, सारे फ्लेवर, PRA डॉट, आपको सारे, you are able to see all the 4 functions, add, yes or no?
Yes.
So now tell me, if you will call this function at writing your code, at the time of your writing code, you will call this function. Either you will call this function or this one does. जो भी फंक्शन आप कॉल करोगे रन टाइम पे वही कॉल होगा, कोई दूसरा कॉल नहीं होगा. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? जिस फंक्शन को आप यहाँ पे कॉल करके करोगे वही कॉल होगा. सपोज टेक द एग्जांपल, मैंने ये वाला कॉल किया, 1 is 5 and second I am using 5.5f. So ये किस फंक्शन को कॉल करेगा? जस्ट सी, इट विल गो टू देयर. ये कहां पे जा रहा है? दिस वन. यस और नो?
Yes.
तो इसको पता है व्हेन यू कॉल दिस फंक्शन एट रन टाइम इट विल कॉल दिस फंक्शन. तो कंपाइल टाइम पे इट इज डिसाइडेड दैट व्हिच फंक्शन विल बी कॉल्ड. ये इसी फंक्शन को कॉल करेगा. ठीक है. बट इन केस ऑफ ओवरलोडिंग, इन केस ऑफ ओवरराइडिंग, इट इज नॉट फिक्स. कैसे बताता हूं? लेट मी टेक द एग्जांपल. अगर मैं यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट सैलरी अगर चाइल्ड में होता, जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दैट. कैलकुलेट सैलरी इज अवेलेबल इन द चाइल्ड क्लास. ठीक है. नाउ सी वन थिंग, अगर मैं यहाँ पे कोडिंग रन करूंगा, आप मुझे बताओगे कौन सा फंक्शन कॉल होगा? क्लास बी दो कैलकुलेट सैलरी. विच फंक्शन विल कॉल कैलकुलेट सैलरी में? इट इज कॉलिंग विच फंक्शन? इसीलिए मैं यहाँ पे, इसीलिए मैं एसओपी यूज कर रहा था ताकि आप लोग को पता चले. क्लास यहाँ पे लिख लो, क्लास ए ग्रॉस सैलरी एंड इन द क्लास बी राइट क्लास बी ग्रॉस, ताकि आपको पता चले कौन सा फंक्शन कॉल. नाउ जस्ट सी, when the calculate salary fees function is available in the class B, you will see the my code is calling which function. Just see कौन से फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहा है, कौन से फंक्शन कॉल कर रहा है? क्लास
क्लास ए.
But class B को कॉल करना चाहिए ना.
क्लास बी को हमने आई टेल यू रीजन इज दैट हमने यहाँ पे ये कर दिया ना, ये तो ओवरराइड है ही नहीं.
Yes, yes, yes.
है ना. देखो अपने आप हमारी गलती खुद ही पकड़ में आती है. Because now the thing is that in case of overridden, the function signature should be same. अभी overridden कराएगा. Now just see here, I'm trying to call the function. It will call the function from class B. Class B से call कर रहा है.
Yes.
And at the time of compilation, आप जब कोड लिख रहे हो तब भी चेक करो कहाँ से कॉल हो रहा है. ये देखो, it is calling from here. Yes or no? ठीक है. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now I will give you the example how it is asked in the interview. तो देखो आपको last time I told you one thing, one concept I told you. Then you have an option. Then whenever you are creating an object of a class, you can create the reference of a parent. Yes or no? In the last session I told you you can create the object of a class, and if the parent is available, you can create the reference of a parent class. अगर आपके पास class B है और इसका एक parent है, तो आप रेफरेंस किसका बना सकते हो?
क्लास ए का.
अब यहाँ पे आपको एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज दिखाई देगी, देखना, ध्यान से देखना. व्हेन आई विल से, ओके क्लास ए मैंने ऑलरेडी ऊपर यूज कर रखा है, सो लेट मी डिलीट दिस. नाउ यू सी हियर आई एम राइटिंग क्लास ए डॉट. इट इज शोइंग यू द फंक्शन फ्रॉम, किस फंक्शन को कॉल आपको दिखा रहा है कि जब मैं क्लास ए डॉट कर रहा हूं तो किस फंक्शन को पॉइंट कर रहा है? क्लास ए की क्लास को कि बी की क्लास को?
एक
है ना. ये देखो, अब इससे पैरामीटर भी पास कर रहा हूं, लेकिन आप ये देखना कि कॉल कौन सा करता है. ए का करता है और इट इज कॉलिंग फ्रॉम द बी. जस्ट सी हियर, आई एम रनिंग इट.
कॉल करेगा.
ये कॉल कर रहा है किसका? बी का. क्यों कर रहा है? दिस इज कॉल्ड ओवरराइडिंग, इज नोन एज रन टाइम पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म. ओवरराइडिंग को क्या बोलते हैं? रन टाइम. आपके कोड करते वक्त हमेशा ये चेक करेगा जिसका आपने रेफरेंस बनाया है, whatever reference you have created, it will check the function is available in that class or not. ये देखो, आपको चेक यहाँ पे यही करने जा रहा है कि क्लास ए में है कि नहीं है. जिसका रेफरेंस बनाते हैं कंपाइल टाइम पे उसी को चेक करता है, लेकिन रन टाइम पे किसमें देखने जाता है? एक्चुअल ऑब्जेक्ट. अगर बी में ऑब्जेक्ट ये फंक्शन बना होगा, इफ दिस फंक्शन इज अवेलेबल इन द बी क्लास, इट विल कॉल फ्रॉम द बी. अगर ये नहीं होगा, देखना, आई विल डिलीट इट. Now only the difference is that again coding is same. It is going to check the function in A class, and at right time it will call the function from A class. क्यों करेगा? क्योंकि B में तो available. Getting my point?
Yes.
And this is called run time. Run time क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि आपके क्लास को रन करते वक्त ये चेक करता है if you are creating the reference of a parent class and object of a child class. तो कंपाइल टाइम पे जब आप कोड लिखते हो तभी हमेशा चेक करता है कि आपके पेरेंट में फंक्शन है कि नहीं है, तभी चाइल्ड में नहीं चेक करता. बट व्हेन यू आर रनिंग इट एट रन टाइम इट विल चेक. अगर चाइल्ड में फंक्शन एग्जिस्ट करता है सो इट विल कॉल फ्रॉम द चाइल्ड नॉट फ्रॉम द parent. इसीलिए this is called overriding, and because it is happening at runtime, it is called a runtime polymorphism. Anybody have any doubt?
Sir, actually, I have a doubt.
हाँ जी बताइए.
So, how we create object for class A which is equal to new class B?
Yeah, because I told you in the last session, I told you this thing, that especially in case of inheritance, you have an option. Usually you do one thing whenever you have, before the previous session, I told you that whenever you have to create an object of a class, you create object, how? New class B, right? And same time you create the reference of this class. Reference कैसे बनाते हो? At left side, you write the code of the same class, CLAS class B. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But in case of inheritance, you have a benefit that whenever there is a relationship of parent and child between two classes, you can create the object of a child, but you have an option that you can create the reference of the parent. आपका जो reference का जो type है, जो class B ना होके, ये क्या हो सकता है? Class A. But the class A should be the parent of class B. ऐसा कर सकते हो, लेकिन ये कहाँ अवेलेबल है? केवल when there is a relationship. अगर मैं यहाँ पे कोई और क्लास को यूज कर लूं, नहीं कर सकता. I am able to use the class A because in class A and class B there is a relationship of parent and child. Class A क्या है? Class B का parent. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Now I got it.
I repeat once. इसमें वो फर्स्ट वो फंक्शन दिखेगा चाइल्ड क्लास में, अगर चाइल्ड क्लास में नहीं है तब पेरेंट क्लास.
रन टाइम नहीं, रन टाइम पे देखो दोनों चीज है. दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Why we call it compile और रन टाइम, दोनों अलग अलग चीज है. देखो कंपाइल टाइम मतलब देखो जब मैं कोड कर रहा हूँ, अपना कोड में रन नहीं कर रहा हूँ, कोड अपना लिख रहा हूँ और उसकी एरर को रिजॉल्व कर रहा हूँ. दैट इज कॉल्ड कंपाइलेशन. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? ठीक है. तो आप देखो अगर मैं इस समय कोड को कंपाइल कर रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे कोड को कंपाइल किया मैंने, क्लास ए का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, क्लास ए बी का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया. आई हैव क्रिएटेड द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ क्लास बी एंड क्रिएटेड द रेफरेंस ऑफ क्लास ए एंड आई एम कॉलिंग क्लास ए. तो क्लास ए किसका रेफरेंस है? क्लास ए का. सो ये इस समय कहाँ चेक करने जाएगा? क्लास ए में. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? क्लास ए में दिखा, इसको मिल गया? यस और नो? अरे से यस और नो. Okay,
Sir, this runtime and compile time polymorphism I did not understand. Can you repeat once again?
Yeah, actually runtime means what happens that when you try to run the code and when you try to write the code, these are two different situations. आप जब भी यहाँ पे देखो करते हो ना, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे क्लास ए लिखा है, ये रेफरेंस किस क्लास का है?
Class A.
क्लास ए का है. तो जब मैं क्लास ए डॉट करूंगा तो मुझे फंक्शन किसके दिखाई देंगे? क्लास ए.
Sir, please explain in English, sir. I can't understand.
Let me do. Okay, I'm saying that whenever you are creating a reference of a class A, you are able to see the functions from only class A. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I will do one thing. I'm just going to create this function in the class B also. That is a child. But you will see, you will not able to see this function. Now let me come to name and just tell me how many functions you are able to see with the name of calculate salary.
Class A.
Okay,
Only one.
and this function is from class A. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it means I will do one thing. If I am clicking on it, it means you are expecting that when I am calling it from class A at runtime, when I will run the program, it will call the function from class A. Yes or no?
Yes.
But that is not the case, because the thing is that when it try to run the program, okay, at compile time, you are sure that it is showing you the function from class A. But at runtime, what happens? First of all, it try to search the function in child class.
Class. Okay.
If it will found the function in the child class, then it will call the function from child class, not from the parent. So priority is given from the child to the parent. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So now in this case, you will see function exists on the child. So you will see, I will run this. So it will run the function from child. Or you will see class B is from child. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But when I was trying to write the code, it was showing the function from class A. Yes or no? But when I running the code, it was showing the function from class B. It is called runtime. When I was trying at the writing of code, that is called compile. But at the runtime code, it find the function in the child and run from the child. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now you see, second scenario. Suppose this function was not overridden in the child. It is not available in the child. Now in that case, what will happen? Just see. When this code will
We go to
run,
the parent.
yes, it will go to the child first. No, because the function is not available. So it will go to the parent.
Parent.
So I will run this function again. This time it will call the function from parent.
Yes,
Now
yes.
you got the overriding.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Anybody else? And again, I'm saying that don't think about that. I have to repeat two,
Sir?
3 times. Yeah.
सर ये आपने क्लास ए डॉट कैलकुलेट सैलरी है तो इसमें
Aji?
तो व्हेन वी आर कॉलिंग फंक्शन ऑफ क्लास ए करेक्ट तो सर इस केस में तो वो क्लास बी में देखेगा भी नहीं ना
नहीं 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 that is called, मैं फिर से कह रहा हूँ, it will watch in the class B at run time.
first
Run.
during run time first it will check the function is available in class B.
Yes, जिसका भी
Even we
object.
are writing class A dot calculate salary.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that runtime, actually that is called runtime. It always check in the object part. जिस भी class का object बनाते हो ये किसमें check करता है? उसमें check करता है. Getting my point? If you are getting, because here you are getting the object of class B, that is a child. So first of all, at runtime, it will check in the class B. If it is not available, then it will go to the class A. Getting my point?
सर हम यहाँ पे ऐसे क्यों class B dot calculate salary?
Sorry?
Why we are not writing class B dot calculate salary?
Class B. Acha, that is also a very good question. The thing is that, it provides you the flexibility. It provides you the flexibility. Now you have a flexibility. Whenever, suppose take the example, this is a parent and this is child. If the function is not overridden in the class B, it will call the function from class A. And if it is overridden in the class B, it will call function from the B. How it is possible? अगर आप यहाँ पे यही लिख देते, so now tell me, in this case you will see what will happen. You are creating the object of a class B. Yes or no?
Yes, this is the simple object creation. There is no inheritance between,
Yes.
and there is no relation between two classes.
So I will tell you the benefit. What is the benefit is there? Sometimes what happens, why we use this one, the reference of a parent class. So you can take the example, one thing. Suppose here we have class 1 is one child. Let me take the example of class C. Let me make that class C is also a child of class A. Is it okay? अब हमारे पास क्लास A के कितने चाइल्ड हैं? Tell me. 2 childs are there. Yes or no? How many childs we have of class A? 2. One is class B and one class C. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now the benefit is that, now the thing is that usually we provide this thing in this way, that in a parent class you have a function calculate salary, and the parent given implementation this one. One child class B was not satisfied, or you can say one class was not satisfied with the calculate salary of the function of the parent, so it has overridden in its own class. Getting my point? Class B. But now the another child of the same class was also not happy with the parent, as well as with the not happy with the first child, means its own sibling. So he also defined its own calculate salary. Getting my point? Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now tell me one thing. In your program, first of all, you want to call the calculate salary from the class B, and then you want to call the calculate salary from class C. How you will write the code? Tell me. कैसे लिखोगे? मैं बताता हूँ आपको. You have one way, as you
Sir, what is
told
the
me.
question?
Okay, I'm saying that you have to, in your program, you have to call the calculate salary function from the B first, and then you have to call the calculate salary function from class C. So how you are going to write this code, I will show you. You will create a object and reference
Class
of
B.
class B. Yes.
New with class C.
Yes. No. First of all, class B. Getting my point? So you have
Yes,
created
sir.
the object of class B. Why it is giving the error?
Object reference वो बना रहे हैं class B.
Oh, sorry. reference class B. Yeah. So here you can see I have created a reference of class B. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So because you know that if you want to create a call a function from a class, you have to create the object of class and the same reference of the same class. Now I can call B dot. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is done. Now I want to call the calculate salary from the class C. So I have to do one thing. Class C. C. So I have to create the object of class C as well as reference of the class C. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So I will do C dot calculate salary. So how many objects you have created here? 2. Class B, class C. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And how many reference you have created? 2. B and C.
160.
I can show you that you can save one reference variable. You can save reference variable because the need is that you want to calculate the calculate salary from B and then you want to calculate salary from C. So you can do one thing. Instead of creating the reference class B and class C, you can create a single reference variable of class A, which is a parent of both the classes. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now the benefit is that you don't need to create this one. Don't need to create the reference of class B. You can use A equal to, because A is the parent of class B. You can write in this way. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I told you that you can create the reference of a parent when you are creating the object of a class. You can use this one, and same is applicable from here. You can again write A. You can using same variable. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now tell me, using the same reference variable of the parent, you call the function from one child and another child. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And it will use the overriding concept. Because you are using the class B, at runtime, it will call the function from class. First of all, give the preference to class B. And in case it will give the preference to the class C. Reference is same. Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is the benefit. And now accidentally, both these classes do not contain this method. In this case, it will call the function from class A. Getting my point? So many benefits are there. You are creating the reference of a parent and it will make your coding safe. Yes or no?
Yes.
Anybody else who have a doubt, you can tell me. I will give the example from the, maybe I'm 100% sure everybody have tried to learn the Selenium. So in the Selenium, you will see, whenever you want to open a browser, आपको जब browser open करना पड़ता है Chrome, so you have to create the object of a Chrome driver. So कैसे करते हो मैं बताता हूँ. In that case, you write this code, CHROMEDRIVR. Getting my point? अब reference किसका बनाओगे?
Yes.
Of course, Chrome driver. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I will show you that after some time in your same program, you have to open a Firefox driver. क्या करोगे? New Firefox driver. Yes or no? It do not contain the jar. That's why it is not giving the option, but you can trust on me. So now in this case, you will create the reference of Firefox. Yes or no?
Yes.
देखो, this is the perfect coding. Here you will write Chrome driver, CHROME Chrome driver, and here you write Firefox driver, Firefox driver. So how many objects you have created to open a Chrome browser in Firefox? 2 object and 2 reference. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
I can save and make your life easy. You don't need to create these 2 reference of Chrome drive. You can create the reference of parent of these 2 classes. क्या कोई ऐसा parent है? Is there any function in this, any class in the Selenium which is a parent of all the browsers classes? Yes, and the name is WebDriver. WebDriver is a parent of
All the letters.
So now what is the benefit? You don't need to declare this reference variable again. Simple use driver equal to Chrome driver. It will point to the Chrome browser, and after some time you write driver equal to Firefox. It will point to the Firefox. So you are using the same reference variable for multiple childs. Actually, these are child. When I'm saying that the parent of this driver, the parent of this one web driver, so it means both of these are siblings. Yes or no? So ये benefit पता चला कि आप what is the benefit you have in case of inheritance that is utilized in Selenium. Getting my point?
Yes.
Okay, so that thing I will tell you again. I will show you everything there. I will show you that how many functions are available in the parent that are overridden in the child. I will show you. Okay, that is a little bit clear. So you will do one thing. When you will try to explore some more from the internet, you will get some more understanding. Is it okay?
Yes.
This is a good thing. Every time everybody acknowledge me. Great. Again, but for the, you can say, sake, I'm asking Payal, Rabia, Ranjita, Shruti. Anybody have you have doubt?
No, sir.
Great. Still you have a doubt, don't worry. I was saying everybody, if you have a doubt, you can ping me individually also. Okay? Chalo. So this is called overloading and override. Now let me go to the syllabus part also. Now this is called encapsulation. It is a theoretical topic, and it is called interface. I already told you, and this is called abstraction. So it is a, you can say, it is a theoretical topic. And what do you mean by encapsulation? Encapsulation is actually when somebody will ask you encapsulation. So encapsulation is actually come from a word that is called capsule. Anybody know what is the benefit of capsule? Anybody know? I'm talking about the medicine capsule. किसी ने खाया है अपनी लाइफ में?
Yes, it's like covering the main ingredient. Only the, like, we are covering the main ingredient inside.
Yes, yes. A doctor provides you the, you can say, capsule, because the thing is that it contains the different medicine, different components, or you can say different compound in some definite ratios. Like, are you getting my point? So बहुत सारे, it contains different compounds, like paracetamol will be 1 mg. Then it contains some, you can say, a painkiller. So many compounds are together, combined and wrapped in a capsule, so that you can find it easy. Yes or no? And what is, as an end user, what is the doctor role? Doctor want to give, doctor आपको कभी पता, doctor anytime doctor tell you that today you will go and you will take 1 gram paracetamol, 2 mg you will take the you can say antibiotic 1 gram. He will not tell you the complexity. He will tell you take this capsule. Yes or no? Because everything is wrapped in it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Getting my point?
Yeah.
So actually the thing is that the benefit of capsule is something like that. Whenever he want to give you the medicine, he will, first of all thing, he will provide you only that information which is mandatory to you. वो आपको वो information कभी नहीं देगा जिससे आपका मतलब नहीं. You don't need to understand how much paracetamol you have to take. What is the amount of that? Because he have given you the capsule and everything is within it. Getting my point? So this is called, the first thing is called abstraction. Abstraction means only the required details are visible to the client, and all the unnecessary details are hidden from the client. I will take another example. In your home, whenever you buy any TV, are you able to see the circuit of the TV? आप कभी उस टीवी का सर्किट देख पाते हो?
No.
आपको तो क्या देता है? Always, if you take the example of Samsung, LG, every TV provide you few buttons, so you can on it, off it, you can increase the volume. Only required components, only the required controls are visible to you, and rest of the complexity is hidden from you. Yes or no?
Yes.
इसको बोलते हैं, this is called abstraction. So the best example of a abstraction is called class. Class is itself a best example of abstraction. कैसे? In your class.
Abstraction.
Sorry? No, abstract. You can say encapsulation is related to the abstraction. So that's why for explaining the encapsulation, first I am telling the abstraction. Okay? Abstraction means, again, the definition is that whenever you hide the unnecessary details and only provides required information to the end user, this is called abstraction. Now tell me one thing. In the calculate salary, if somebody want to call this function calculate salary, what is the need information he should know? Kya information he should know? He should know the calculation part, how calculation is performing in the function. It is necessary part.
Yes.
No. Calculation कैसे हो रही? That is not necessary. आपको क्या क्या parameter pass करने, that is necessary. Getting my point? Now take the example of, you use calculator. In the calculator, you pass two numbers, 2 and 3. Have you ever seen that how calculation is done in the within the calculator? No. You only just get the result. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So calculator also provides you the option there. Here it will call you कि आपको कौन सा which function you want to call and how many parameter you have to pass. Getting my point? Now you can take the example. Class B contains a function calculate salary. It contains this parameter, also the body part. You will see whenever anybody will try to call the function from class A, just see. My class A, I'm trying to call function class A, and just tell me what information you are able to see. Class A dot. What information you are able to see about the calculate salary function? Name of the function and type of the parameter and the return type. Yes or no? Are you able to see the body?
Yes. No.
आपको बॉडी नहीं दिख रही. You are not able to see the body. आपको सिर्फ ये दिख रहा है main classes that you can call the calculate salary, and for it you have to pass two parameters. First one is integer type basic, and second is HRA integer type, and void means it will not return anything. But you are not able to see the body part. क्या ये body part आपको दिख रहा है दूसरी क्लास में? नहीं, क्योंकि इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है. Getting my point? This is called abstraction. Yes or no?
Yes.
ठीक है. Now second thing is that called encapsulation. Encapsulation क्या होता है? Whenever you design a class, so your class contains multiple things. Your class can contain multiple functions. Yes or no? Display function is there, calculate salary function is there, and maybe it contains some properties. For example, suppose there is a property ID. Getting my point? There is a property, suppose name. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So now this class contains two properties and two functions. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now the thing is that it is something like that. This class is, you can take the example, the class is something like a capsule. This contains all the functions. Yes or no? All the properties. And if you want to use any function, any property, class provide you a single thing to access everything. क्या प्रोवाइड करती है क्लास का? आप कैसी क्या चीज बनाते हो जिससे आप कुछ भी एक्सेस कर सकते हो? ऑब्जेक्ट.
Yes.
When you create the object of a class, you can access everything of that class. Yes or no? Now tell me, you have only A.
Yes.
You have only A dot.
A.
You can access everything. Yes or no?
Yes.
So the thing is that encapsulation says that. Now just focus on the definition of encapsulation. Wrapping up of data and functions, wrapping of all the properties, all the data and all the functions of a class in a single unit is called encapsulation. Okay, so wrapping up of all data and all functions of a class in a single unit which is used to represent the class is known as object. Or this process is known as encapsulation. That's why in the definition of encapsulation we use the term encapsulation is a process of wrapping up data and its all function in a single unit is called encapsulation. And what is the outcome of encapsulation? Object. Getting my point? Haji.
Basically, we can say कि हम इसमें properties भी declare कर रहे हैं किसी class में.
Basically you can say that class में जो भी whatever is available in the class, if you want to access anything from the class, you need a single unit. आपको कोई एक single unit चाहिए थी, and single unit is object. अगर आप object बना लो तो उससे कुछ भी access कर सकते हो dot करके.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So that's why that single unit is, आप उसको बोलते हो, that is called object. तो उस ऑब्जेक्ट को जो बनाने का जो कॉन्सेप्ट, द प्रोसेस, ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने का आपको राइट दिया जावा ने, दैट प्रोसेस इज नोन एज इनकैप्सुलेशन. जब भी आप किसी क्लास को स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हो, व्हेनेवर यू ट्राई टू डिजाइन ए क्लास, बाय डिफॉल्ट जावा प्रोवाइड्स यू अ ऑप्शन टू क्रिएट द ऑब्जेक्ट दैट क्लास. यस और नो? आप किसी भी क्लास को बनाओ, जावा उसको आपको क्या राइट देता है? ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने का. एंड हाउ यू हैव सीन दैट इफ यू डोंट हैव एनी कंस्ट्रक्टर, स्टिल इट प्रोवाइड्स यू द डिफॉल्ट कंस्ट्रक्टर. मेरे पास I don't have any constructor in the class A. Still you will see when I write this line of code, are you getting any error? New class A? No.
Default constructor.
Default, and this default constructor is provided by the Java. Java आपको क्यों provide करा है? That's why I'm saying that. वो आपको बोलता खुद ही है. Whenever you want to call a function or property of a class, you need a object. So that's why I am giving you a default constructor, because that is my responsibility to give you option to create the object. आपको अगर नहीं बनाते हो तब भी ऑप्शन दूंगा. ये जो आपका प्रोसेस होता है, that is called the encapsulation. कि रैपिंग, आपको जो ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने का कॉन्सेप्ट दिया है, एक कॉन्सेप्ट है, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज लिटिल बिट कंफ्यूजिंग. समटाइम पीपल कंफ्यूज कि इनकैप्सुलेशन क्या है. इनकैप्सुलेशन एक प्रोसेस है जो जेवीएम यूज करता है टू गिव यू द ऑब्जेक्ट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? एंड इफ एनीबॉडी आस्क यू व्हाट इज द आउटकम, उसका आउटपुट का आउटकम क्या होता है इनकैप्सुलेशन का? द आउटकम ऑफ ए इनकैप्सुलेशन इज कॉल्ड ऑब्जेक्ट. उस encapsulation से you get a object and you can call it. So object is just like a representative of a class. Yes or no?
Yes.
ठीक है? So this is theoretical term, little bit confusing, I know. So I will do one thing. I will not go beyond it. Okay. Otherwise it will be too much. So you can do one thing. Again, you have option. Please revise every session. And I will suggest, please, first of all, do one thing. Try to go to the internet, explore overloading and overriding, and before that explore, you can say, class, interface and abstract class, and then after that watch my recording 2 times. I am 100% sure you will get some good understanding. Still you are not able to find, you can come to me, you can ping me, I will again. Okay, ठीक है? But you have to write the code. Trust me one thing, don't try to only read the things. अगर आप केवल read कर, if you try to read the code, no. Coding is something like a maths. If you will not try to apply by your own hand, you will not able to understand. अब मैं आपको चाहे, how many times I told you that run time, it is calling the function from parent and child. Till the time you will not able to run it, you will try to execute, you will not understand. Yes or no? आपको देखना पड़ेगा, क्लास ए में जाओ, इस फंक्शन को कभी यहां से डिलीट कर दो. यू कैन रीड द फंक्शन फ्रॉम पेरेंट, समटाइम डिलीट द फंक्शन फ्रॉम चाइल्ड एंड सी व्हाट इज द इंपैक्ट इन दिस कोडिंग. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? एंड देन यू अंडरस्टैंड द कांसेप्ट ऑफ ओवरलोडिंग, ओवरराइडिंग, रन टाइम एंड कंपाइलर. इज इट ओके?
यस. प्रदीप, एक क्वेश्चन है, जैसे कि
Yes.
अभी हम एनकैप्सुलेशन तो अब पढ़ रहे हैं, ठीक है, बट ऑब्जेक्ट में तो बहुत टाइम पहले से मतलब स्टार्टिंग से ही पढ़ रहे हैं. ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करना है किसी भी क्लास को करने के लिए, तो इसका मतलब फिर एनकैप्सुलेशन तो हमने वहीं से पढ़ लिया.
हाँ जी, that's why I'm saying that encapsulation is already a process. आज तो मैंने आपको encapsulation की definition बताई, समझ रहे हो? And encapsulation is not something like, that's why I'm saying that encapsulation is not something कि आप उसको कोई देख सकते हो. Are you getting my point? That's why you will see I use a term encapsulation is a process. Getting my point?
Yes.
है ना?
Yes.
अब देखो, you can take the example. If you will take the example from the kitchen, if I will tell you that this is the process of preparing a you can say whatever tea, तो प्रोसेस को आप देख थोड़ा ना सकते हो. प्रोसेस का आउटकम क्या निकला, वो टी, दैट यू कैन सी. यस और नो? है ना? अब आप ये डोंट गिव मी दिस एग्जांपल कि व्हेनेवर आई प्रिपेयर टी आई विल जस्ट
मतलब मुझे लगा कि हमको ऑब्जेक्ट से पहले भी ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करके हम क्लास को कॉल कर रहे थे, तो बेसिकली वी ऑलरेडी हैड दिस कांसेप्ट कि ऑब्जेक्ट
Yes.
हमें अभी एक डेफिनेशन मिला एनकैप्सुलेशन.
Yes, and the same way we have used the definition of abstract. अब देखो, इसको ऐसे समझो, that is also from the real life. मैंने आज को आपको एब्स्ट्रैक्शन बताया, लेकिन आप टीवी में तो हमेशा एब्स्ट्रैक्शन यूज कर रहे थे ना. आपको आज तक आपने कभी सर्किट नहीं देखा, आप यूज भी कर रहे थे. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because that is a concept you should know what is it. So whenever you need abstraction, whenever you are going to design your class, whenever, just think about that. For whom abstraction is very important, just like it. Now think about that. In the future, you want to open a company and you want to sell a TV. तो आप अपने कस्टमर को क्या वो सब चीजें देना चाहोगे जो that can harm your business? अगर आप उसे सर्किट पूरा खोल के दो, सारा समझा दो, सर्किट के अंदर you put each and every flag कि भाई देखो यहाँ से सर्किट जाता है, इससे टीवी चलता है, you will provide? No, it will harm your business. वो तो घर में टीवी बना लेगा. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you will provide only that details that are necessary to the user. Even company, even when you will create your own company, आप तो उसके एक वो लगाते हो. There is the term I don't know, that is called seal, right? कि आप बोलते हो कि अगर किसी ने इसको seal open किया, the warranty will be expired. Yes or no?
Yes.
क्यों बोलते हो? Because you want to hide the details which is important to a business, not from the end user. End user से उसको क्या मतलब? एंड यूजर को तो टीवी ऑन होके ऑन चलनी चाहिए. वॉल्यूम शुड बी इंक्रीज, वॉल्यूम शुड बी डिक्रीज. ही शुड नॉट इंटरफेयर विद इन द इंटरनल बॉडी. यस और नो?
Yes.
और अगर इंटरनल बॉडी दे दी तो हमने क्या होगा? वी आर एक्चुअली हार्म द बिजनेस. Getting my point? So it is same with the class. Suppose you have designed a class. You design a class and you only want to give. अगर आपने किसी को बॉडी का ये कोड ही दे दिया तो वो तो कैलकुलेटर खुद ही बना देगा. Yes or no? आप मुझे बताओ. If you got the coding of a software, अगर आपको सॉफ्टवेयर की पूरी कोडिंग मिल जाए तो आप दूसरे का क्या? Why two companies try to get purchase the same software? Like take the example of Tally. Anybody know what is a Tally? Tally is a software for the accounting, right? टैली एक सॉफ्टवेयर होता है काम. अब मुझे बताओ एक कंपनी टैली खरीदती है, दूसरी कंपनी भी उससे टैली क्यों खरीदती है? दे कैन डू वन थिंग. पहली कंपनी ने टैली खरीदा, दे कैन जस्ट एक्सप्लोर द कोड एंड देन क्रिएट देयर ओन टैली एंड देन से दैट नेक्स्ट फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट टाइम आई एम नॉट टेकिंग द लाइसेंस, नेक्स्ट ईयर नहीं लूंगा. यस और नो? है ना? लेकिन ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो पाता? क्योंकि वो उसके फंक्शन सब यूज करते हैं बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू सी देयर कोडिंग पार्ट. सही कह रहा हूं? यस और नो?
Yes.
So this is called abstraction. So you are using the abstraction in your real life. You are using the abstraction in the class, but you don't know. Whenever sometimes try to create the class, then he is very focused on the class. I can give you another example. Now tell me one thing. Whenever anybody want to access this property, how is he can access? Just see here. I will create the object of a class. Just see here, class A. If I want to assign some property, A dot, I can access ID. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
I can write any direct value on the ID. Yes or no? लिख सकता हूँ?
Yes.
And it will be assigned. Just see here. If I will try to print the value, A dot ID, it will print the value. It will print the value whatever you have assigned it. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because you are giving the direct, it is also part of abstraction that you are providing the direct access of a property. So anybody can set any negative value also. Yes or no? Dekho. Can I set -1?
Yes.
है ना? So now in the abstraction you can go beyond the basic structure of abstraction. Abstraction मतलब मैंने क्या बोला? Hide करते हैं. चलो ID को भी hide कर देते हैं. How I can make the hidden of ID private? Yes or no?
Yes.
When I made this, so I am just increasing the level of abstraction. Now I have hidden the ID from the outer world. But in this case, what will happen? Nobody can access ID. Are you able to access ID? Not visible.
No.
अब लेकिन ये तो बड़ी problem. Now it is a very, very big problem. You have hidden the ID. Actually, the thing is that you have to provide the access of the ID, but with some restrictions. Yes or no? And that is called abstraction. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I will do one thing. I will make a clever thing. I will make this property as a private, and I will create a specific function, public and int, and the name of the function is, you can say, get ID. Okay, this is one function, and second function I will create right here. And other function I will create. Just see, this is very, very beautiful thing. public public, and I will say void, and the function is set ID. Anybody trying to get what I'm trying to do?
Abstraction.
Yes, in the abstraction, I'm trying to do one thing. I will provide the access of my ID field to the outer world, but not the direct access. I will try to give the access with the help of my functions. So I will tell you what is the benefit of function. Now you will see. Now just see. Now you want to assign some value to the ID field. You can't do it. Directly you can't do it. So you can do it. If you want to assign some value, you have to use the function set ID. Getting my point? And whatever value you want to provide it here, you can provide it. You want to put 9, put it 9. Getting my point? And how it will be set? It will go to this function, and with this function you have written the code, this dot ID equal to, you have set the value. You can make the restrictions here. If ID, whatever ID you are providing to set, is provided by the end user, it is less than 0. In this case, the value of ID should be Getting my point? If
Yeah.
anybody if anybody try to provide the value less than 0 or negative, by default it would put the ID 0.
0.
So you can write any logic. How you are able to write this logic? Because you have removed the direct access of the property and you are asking to the end user, call my function, give me your value, I will set. Getting my point? If you want to read this value, you directly can't read it. Call this function, I will return this value. Getting my point?
Yes.
Now just see a dot get ID. So this is another level of abstraction. Now see, I'm putting the value 9. It is setting or not? Just see. Yeah, 9 is set. Now try to give some negative value. What value you are getting? 0. Why? Because this is called another level of abstraction. Means you have designed your class in such a way you are only providing the access of your property, not direct access, with the help of functions. In the function bandwidth is that nobody can directly set the value. You are deciding the value, which value will be set. Yes or no? आप डिसाइड कर रहे हो इन द फंक्शन कि आपकी वैल्यू सेट होने से पहले आप सारे चेक लगा रहे हो. Yes or no? That is possible in case of direct access? No. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is called also, and this is also known in the abstraction. This is also known as a concept that is called data hiding. You are hiding the data from the outer world, direct access of the data. Yes or no?
Yes.
आप डायरेक्ट बाहर के वर्ल्ड को पता भी नहीं है. You have given the function ID, whatever value you want to set, you are just giving, decided by the function in the class, owner of this class. we have designed in my class कि मैं डिसाइड करूंगा कि वैल्यू आप मुझे दो, मैं सेट करूं. बट whenever you are providing the value directly public, you are giving the direct access. कोई भी कुछ भी कर ले. Yes or no? So this concept is known as, within the abstraction, this is known as data hiding. And this, the function, how you are achieving it, whenever you create a function for getting the data and setting the data, these two functions are known as, किसी को पता है? Getter. And this function is known as
Setter.
और ये function आपको जावा में, you can get this function by default with the help of Eclipse. देखो मैं function को हटा देता हूँ. आपके सामने मैं function बनाऊंगा. You have an option. Right click on your class. See carefully. Right click on your class. Go to the source. And there is an option generate getter and setter. When you click on it, you can choose for which property you want to do it. You want to do it for all, just select all. Otherwise, click on this one and click on generate. Are you able to see it is created function for you?
Yes.
So this is very standard thing, because the thing is that you have increased the level of abstraction. आप बोल रहे हो, है ना? Or this I can, in the real example I will give you, and especially for mammas. This is a very good example. Whenever you are very care about your kids, आप क्या करते हो? आपका दोस्त, आपके बेटे का, if your you can say kid's friend is coming to your house, you just go, first of all, you just go to the door and ask, tell me, क्या है काम है? What do you want? Then he will tell. Then when you allowed, okay, you are agree that the purpose of coming is very, very fair. Then he's okay, you can go and meet to my son. Otherwise you will say, no, he's not in the house. Yes or no? So you are providing the access with the help of your own interference. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Are you say yes or no? Example is not good?
Yes.
Okay? So you can take the example. I don't know whether you know about the comics also. Anybody know about the comics? Kids always love to. So now you see in my childhood, what happens that whenever my friend come to me, I always said him, whenever you will come to me, do one thing, just come to my house and just do one thing, give me your comics, I will read. So my father, what my father do, whenever my friend come to my house, he just open the door and ask, what do you want? He just say, uncle, I want to give this book to this educational book to the, you can say Pradeep. So he say, okay, you can give this book to me and then I will give to the Pradeep. So in between what they make a check. Okay, this book is educational. Okay, I can give it to the Pradeep. This book is just like a comics. I will not. So that is called a abstraction. And what is that? My father was working as a getter and setter. Yes or no? My friend never get a chance to meet me directly. Getting my point? Getting my point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So यहीं पे ये होता है, जब आप डायरेक्ट एक्सेस देते हो So you can actually make the harm the security. Up isme you can't control what values will be set in the name. So here you are control. And you can create the, so this is the standard that whenever you are trying to create a class, this is the best practice that you should always create your properties private. And you should provide the access of your properties with the help of these functions that are called getters. So whatever thing you want to control, you can control within the function. Is it okay?
Yes.
And if you want to really you can say understand this concept in detail, again, every time I advise you, you can at least go to the, you can say, channel, and I will show you whatever I told you, that is also available in the channel also, and in a very, very good manner, because here I've shown you the help of PowerPoint slides. So I will show you the abstract class and its final, that is abstract class. Are you able to see this one? You can
Yes,
go
sir.
through with this one, and you can, there is an encapsulation should be there also, encapsulation and encapsulation. Anybody? Yeah, this one. Just see, it is only, you can say, 14-minute video, and you will see what is encapsulation and data. Getting my point? So please spend some time, and definitely you will get something good. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, I'm saying that. Yeah. Hi, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. Pradeep, sir, few people are missing in the class. Like I can see Ansari is missing,